Systeme.io has so many opportunities for someone who is passionate about a goal that they have in their life. And today we hear about that passion from Johannes Fisslinger from Lifestyle Prescriptions University. He is making it his life goal and mission to make lifestyle medicine and health coaching available and accessible to everyone. They're an international brand helping create lifestyle changes, micro habits to help you prevent chronic disease. And so we dive into how he is using Systeme.io to build out this dream, educate healthcare professionals by integrating this software into their lives, by giving them evidence-based practices, as well as creating an AI tool that professionals and general public can use to better understand what lifestyle changes we can make today to prevent chronic diseases of tomorrow. All right, let's dive into this success story with Johannes. Hi, we're having another testimonial and story of a brand that has been built on Systeme.io. We have the opportunity and blessing to sit down with Lifestyle Prescription University founder, owner, operator, Johannes Fisslinger, and I can't wait to dive into his brand and how he has built multiple websites and so much more using Systeme.io. Hi, Johannes. Thank you for joining us on the Systeme.io podcast today.
Hi, Holly. Thank you for the invitation.
For prep for this podcast particularly, I've been looking at all 9 of your websites, and I am amazed as I have filled my mind and my knowledge with lifestyle medicine, I believe. Now, on your YouTube channel, you have a panel from a recent summit where you're sitting down with health coaches and health professionals to build out those 9 websites. Could you give us the Cliff Notes version of what you're doing and how you got to where you are today?
Sure. 9 websites. Wow, I didn't even know. Well, I know we have quite a few because we have different products. But basically, I've been in the field for like 35 plus years in terms of holistic health, integrative health, lifestyle medicine, and health coaching. We train thousands of health coaches, switched over the last few years into lifestyle medicine because, just quickly, we know that chronic disease is such a big issue, right? And just kind of waiting until it's too late, basically. You wait and suddenly you have symptom and then, oh, let's fix it, quick drugs and operation, whatever. That is not the way to go. I mean, healthcare in the US and worldwide, they have all the same problems. It's unsustainable. And there's one new field in medicine that actually is going to grow into the foundation of medicine, which is lifestyle medicine, right? Which means it's the whole idea is to prevent, reduce, or reverse chronic health issue by lifestyle changes, which is food, what you eat, if you exercise, how you sleep, how you manage stress, how the social surroundings are, how supported you feel, and most important, reduce toxins, which I know we have a lot of them, especially in the US, unfortunately. And so we used other platforms before, and had problems, and it just felt like we didn't get what we needed. And what I loved about Systeme.io is the simplicity. And I think we've worked with you guys for many years now. I don't even remember. I think kind of early on when you just started, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years ago, whatever. And so we're growing with you, so to speak. And so the simplicity was, I think, one of the key elements. The ability to not think about, do I go over my limit or not, right? So we have the biggest plan that you have, and so that was really helpful. And we can dive deeper into the technology part. And from our perspective, right, we're international. So we have students. Basically, what we do is we train students. We have foundation training in lifestyle medicine. We have certification trainings. We have degree programs. So we started 3, 4 years ago our masters in our PhD in lifestyle medicine. So we need we need to be international, and I love simplicity. I hate when something becomes really so extensive and adding one feature after another. At the end, it becomes worse than it used to be. So, and I think that's one of the features that I really like about Systeme.io. So.
Okay. Well, then let's lean into that simplicity. Since you have been with System.io from the beginning, can you tell us what your first website was like that you built with them?
Oh gosh, I don't even remember. I mean, I think we started out with landing pages, basically running ads and driving traffic to a landing page, converting clients into, for example, offering a book or free training or a webinar. I think that was the first at the beginning, and we're still running our other platform at that point, right? I just thought, hey, that's an easy way to do the to generate leads, basically. But then, obviously, the reason why we switched completely to a System.io, we run everything that we do on System.io, which can become complex too, right? But we do a lot of things, so I can talk more about that later. So that was the first part, just as a lead generation landing page, and I think that's how you guys started out, and now you added a lot of more features, which is great.
Yeah, so the simplicity of a landing page for lead generation. So let's lean into that. You probably know your avatar, right? So are you looking for or leaning into patients like me who want to be on the receiving end of the information? Or are you targeting and trying to get lead generations for health professionals or health coaches like you who want to implement what you're doing?
Well, that becomes a little bit tricky, right? Which in marketing, it's always like, what's your target audience? The most important question. So we have two aspects. That's why we have several websites. One is, for example, our Lifestyle Medicine Summit. And we have about an email list right now, 50, 70, 80,000 or something total. So it's not small. And the Lifestyle Medicine Summit is a mix of healthcare professionals and general public, right? Which is a little bit tricky, but more and more is switching to healthcare professionals for our degree programs and our lifestyle medicine training programs. And so that's why we have to have different segments. We use tagging a lot. We have different segments, right? So that's obviously important. So we don't mix them up in one basket, so to speak. Um, yeah, and so we have the general public for education, the Lifestyle Medicine Summit, which is global. We have about 30, 40,000 people that attend, which at the
Hmm.
beginning I was really worried the System.io handle it, because I know that especially 4 or 5 years ago, it was really not easy. I mean, you had to either pay a lot for high end to get good streaming, live streaming, right? We live stream. I don't like recording, so we have live like we do now, but it's live streaming on the website or on YouTube. And so that worked really well so far. Once in a while, there's always tech issues. The funny thing, like remember like last October, there was suddenly the whole internet was broken, right? And then there was a day when we had a live streaming, and it was like oh my god, but it wasn't a System.io issue. But anyway, so that's one audience, and we have actually two. We had three, now we have two System.io platforms. One is more for the general public. One is for healthcare professionals. So we kind of keep it separate, which is good, to do that,
Okay,
obviously.
so when you're talking about two different systems, are you talking about using the sub accounts or are you talking about two totally different accounts?
Yeah, two accounts. Yeah. Yeah, you have two accounts. We had three, but one kind of consolidated late the last 3 months actually. So we have two that are very specific. One is more general public, with the summit related. Others are healthcare professionals, and again we do a lot of. I mean, I guess for the general public now it wouldn't be make sense, but the back end is just really important. To stay very clean, very organized. Like the platform we had before. I'm not going to say what it is or who it was, but like after 3 4 years using it, oh my god, it was such a mess. We had thousands whatever tags, and I don't even know anymore what was going on, right? And so we're very strict now to organize very well, with the tagging and with the funnels, and and one of the things that was really helpful, the automation, which a lot of platforms offer that, but just making sure a lead comes in, you have 2 3 emails that go out, funnel them into the next step, if possible. So that I think is saving so much time and energy.
That's awesome. So I want to come back to the email and the tagging and email marketing in general. But let's jump back to the summit real quick. Now, you said that it is hosted on System.io, and you are still collecting and soliciting emails for that right now. Can you dive in, lean into that a little bit more about where the videos are hosted, where they're living? Are they inside of a course? Are they inside of System.io on a landing page? How are you handling the storage of those videos?
Yeah, and anybody listening can go to lifestylemedicine.io. So that's the landing page. And so basically the landing page where the speakers are and explaining the benefits. Then they sign up for free. So it's a free event, which is mostly for lead generation, right? Which worked really well for us. And then once they sign up, we have a premium offer so they can get the recordings and other benefits, typically low cost, like 37 or 97 or something like that, right? Which a lot of people actually did. One of the things, though, quickly, we noticed maybe because there's a saturation or just the economy, it's a little bit less than it used to be because there's a lot of offers out there now, right? And I think a lot of it is switching towards lifestyle, towards social media too. But anyway, that was going really well. And then basically the live streaming is on Systeme.io. So we use another platform for the live streaming part. Maybe there's one in Systeme.io which we haven't really uh, figured out yet. But so we're streaming from this other platform directly to a landing page on Systeme.io, on a page basically. And yeah, and then we save the video then on YouTube or other Vimeo or other platforms, which you can then bring back to embed into the platform. And then basically it's everything's the same. Instead of live streaming, it's the recording, which then is kind of the evergreen type of video or recordings that people can just watch.
So when you embed, did you place it into a course so like people have access, or is it embedded into like a page and it's like here are all the videos embedded for like day one, here's day two? I'm interested in how you
Yeah,
structured this.
yeah, it depends. Sometimes for smaller events, we just leave it on the website and the recording. So they go live stream. If the live stream is over, they just watch the recording. Actually, there's nothing you need to do really, right? It just goes automatically from being live. Once it's over, it just shows the recording, right? That works well. But also we have our own platform because we have a student degree program course platform that is separate that we use on our own website, right? The lifestyleprescription.tv. And so then we move the recordings of most of our classes, summits into the platform because we had that before. And so we don't use the System.io courses. And probably we could, but we just have to move everything over, and that's too much work. So and it's running well the way it is. So
Okay, so we have your courses hosted elsewhere that was already built, but we've talked about email marketing, we've talked about tagging, landing pages, your summit. What would you say your job looks like today? What do you do day to day running your brand on System.io?
I'm not relaxing. I'm not doing anything. No. I think that's a misconception that obviously everybody that markets, especially in this field, oh, it's like you automate everything. It's nothing you need to do. I mean, that's not my experience because I think that's the wishful thinking, right? The two hour a day job or whatever. But yeah, it requires maintenance and just I mean, okay, let me say it this way. If someone runs a webinar, a simple funnel, a simple selling one course, a lot of it can be automated, pretty much everything, I think. And then you focus on marketing and bringing traffic to the website and so on. But for us, it's different because it's more complex. So we have a lot of different things going on. So it does require someone to basically manage it. And and still, on the other hand, once it's set up, the main focus then is marketing, obviously, and drive traffic and all that. So
Okay, so right now your university is in session. And I love how you have that built out with certifications and qualifications, like what the person is going to receive. And it's very evidence based, really helping people build that like, know, and trust on their through your brand. But you have to get lead generations there. So what exactly is hosted on System.io doing the lead generation to your university right now?
So basically, in terms of like CRM, a management system, we do everything on Systeme.io, which took us some customization because so all our database, the contacts, the tagging, all that is Systeme.io, and then we have our student portal, right, which is where the courses are and the students that are actually studying. So I think we have about 7,000-8,000 or something on there, which maybe 3, 4, 500 or so active in our degree programs or certification trainings. But then the challenge we had to connect both, right? And we had another platform that worked, but they had a lot of other issues. And so when we switched over, which was I think last year actually, fully to Systeme.io, because it didn't make sense to have two, right? It's too much to manage. And the challenge was really to streamline it, to connect them. And we're using
Yeah.
webhooks, right? That's one
Oh,
way
webhooks.
because, yeah, we use a lot of webhooks because otherwise it would be difficult, the learning system where the courses are and the degree programs, the study platform, and we had to connect it with Systeme.io because and that was actually a big work, a big challenge because to streamline it so we know like that's our full database, right? And we have it tagged because then let's just say a student has a course coming up, you need to send it to that specific group of students that are in this course, right?
Hmm.
And so that's why we do all the emailing and all of the newsletters is in Systeme.io. But then the student portal is separate, and so we had to sync it somehow on that. And we found out that actually one of the few ways I think to do that was webhooks.
Okay. When you talk about webhooks, are you talking about manually, like an API, or like something like a tool like Zapier? How did you
No, no,
make that
oh, don't
interconnect?
don't get me going with this one because then if you do that, then you have another platform between. We used
Hmm.
Zapier, for example, before, but it just drove us crazy. I mean, you can't do that. So basically, we have a developer. So Systeme.io has the webhook option, right? So
Okay.
for example, let me think for a second here. Okay, so if a student signs up through the landing page or through an order form, let's say a subscription for a degree program, PhD program, which is many years, right? So that's an ongoing payment, which is all in Systeme.io. Then the question is like, do we have to manually add them to our portal? We said, no, that's too much work. It doesn't make sense, right? And then we basically design webhooks through Systeme.io, right? So you can just select a webhook. Or if somebody signs up, for example, then we have a webhook that basically gives them access to certain courses
Love it.
on the student portal, and then certain subscription confirmation that sends out an email, right? So that was development, but it was worth it because now for the last few months, especially, we've solved all that, and then it's really working well, But
Wow.
yeah,
Right. So let's talk about the email segmentation then, because that sounds quite complex. If you got the webhook, they're doing the order form. So when you say order form, is that specifically like the checkout form? So they've decided to make the purchase. So I feel like the order form for checking out has a lot more functionality versus just a form that you can put on a page. And so that allows you to get all the information. And then depending on certain things, you can tag them,
hmm
spring PhD student, and then they get into that email segment
yeah,
specifically.
exactly, yeah. And also, like I said, over the last 3 4 months, actually, we moved all the tagging to SIO, which helps us to just say, hey, we want to send an email to that type of a degree student. Now, I think it would be even easier if the courses are inside Systeme.io, but then in Systeme.io, I think from our perspective, there are a lot of features that are missing because ours is more complex. But somebody has just a couple of courses, I would think it might make sense to just do it in Systeme.io, right? Because it's integrated, and that's the big part of integration. I think that's why I like Systeme.io, and we stuck with it for so many years, is that it's all integrated. Pretty much everything,
Yeah.
like I would say 80% of people that they need is in there. And, I've recommended it to so many. So, because it's like, another thing is why do you pay five, six, $700 or $1,000 for a more sophisticated platform? To me, it doesn't make sense. So thank you guys. Right.
Yeah, the simplicity of it is definitely, like you said,
Yeah.
has built out this brand. So, with all the tools, we've talked about webhooks, we talked about email segmentation and tagging. You have a university that, uh, even though it's not built there, do you think it's possible that you could, if you would have started on System.io, you could build your university within integratively into System.io?
Yeah, I think as it is now, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I said, we started really early and had another platform, so that the conversion from the other platform to System.io was really tough, I have to say,
Yeah,
because we had to, and like after a while, you don't know what you connected to what, right? It's running, and then
yeah,
you have to change it, and it's like, oh my God, we didn't know that happened. Like for example, the payment, the other platform we used, then we switched payments to SIO, which meant we have to reach out to the customers and the students and ask them to update the um, the payments. And then on the old platform, we couldn't cancel it because if we do, all the payments were gone. And so there was a lot of these things happening. But if you start early, like I think it's easier, way easier
yeah,
than if you convert, which was our thing. We had to do
yeah,
that. But it's okay. It was worth it.
yeah,
And System.io again is the simplicity. It's having a lot of the features that you don't have otherwise. And one of the things, our student platform is still on a kind of a WordPress kind of a page, but that's a whole nother issue, right? I don't want to go into that. So I think
well,
for
I
everybody,
think
let's just to quickly summarize, for everyone that runs a regular business, that we have a lot of health coaches and a lot of them, I think, using System.io right now, because we asked them, we said to them, hey, this is easy. Why would we go somewhere else and make it? If people underestimate the work that is needed to set up a business, if it's not integrated, having lots of different plugins and all that, it becomes more and more
mhm,
complex and not necessarily easy.
yeah, or needed. You
Yeah,
could,
exactly.
yeah, 20 or so plugins on a WordPress, where here it's like, well, I have my course, I have my email marketing. I don't need to embed the HTML from, some email provider. Like everything's all right there. Like you said, you're using it as a CRM, a
Yeah.
client relationship management system for a lot of people. And then you also now can recommend it to your health professionals, which leans into affiliate marketing. Are you using affiliate links to, or building anything out and giving templates to your health professionals to help them like get started quicker?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, 5, 6, 7 years ago, we had like on WordPress. I mean, I don't want to bash WordPress, but I guess I will. And then we had to have an affiliate plugin. We had to have a CRM separate. They had to be connected with the WordPress site, and I don't know what else. I mean, right? I mean, it's just the order form, the payments, and all that. So there's all these different ways to that you have to make it work, right? So you need a programmer to develop it, and that's why I said, oh my God, simplicity is good, and move to System.io, and that's how we started. And yeah, we use affiliate marketing absolutely, especially for the summit. That was very important, and so that works really, really well. So
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, people seeing what you're able to build and how easy it is, the simplicity, so they can get started doing the health coaching without the headache of having
yeah,
to build a website,
yeah.
having to build all the things. And so I really appreciate that. Now let's talk about your AIs. Your healthy, wealthy. Is that what it is?
Yeah, we have several of them. Basically, what we did, because education is changing, and I think in actually a really good way. And there's also a disadvantage, right? But in terms of if I'm learning, let's say I'm going through a degree program or a certification course, that the old way of learning is that you have a course, let's say a video, you have a PDF slides, and you go through it one by one, and then at the end you get certified with an exam or whatever. But that's kind of outdated because everybody's not the same. Everybody used to go through the same course. And the cool thing, so what we did, we still have our regular courses, but we're adding AI assistants. So, for example, what's the evidence about lifestyle medicine? So, it's an AI assistant that is focused exclusively on the science of lifestyle medicine, right? Because the smaller an AI platform is or assistant, the better. And that's a disadvantage, obviously, with the big AI. I mean, just today I was asking Gemini or whatever about something, and I knew it was wrong. I mean, it's like, okay, then I typed in and said, but this is not true what you just said because this and this is the fact. Oh yes, I'm sorry for that. It's like, right? What the heck? I mean, it's like it shouldn't be like that. But they're so big these platforms, and there's a lot of hallucination going on, and they cannot be as precise. So the smaller, the better. So when you focus
Hmm.
on, let's say, evidence-based lifestyle medicine, and it uses only valid information that has maybe citations, then students can really study personally the way they like it. So, for example,
I
if I'm
love
really
that.
into nutrition and I'm not really interested in, let's say, social support and all the other uh, aspects of lifestyle medicine, then I can just ask tons of questions and it's backed up by citations. I know that, maybe not 100%, but at least 95, 99% it's accurate versus on on the big platforms, it's, I don't know, you're lucky if you get 80% correct or something. So
Yeah,
it
it's
works
very
really well for
swayed.
education, and also we're using it for productivity. For like, if I have a client coming in and I have biomarkers, I have their history, their personal history. Instead of doing everything myself, I just type in compare the last two blood tests that the client had, and 2 seconds, it gives you like a nice list, right? That is based on these facts that are already saved in the database. So it works really well. And so it's a productivity tool, clinical lifestyle medicine AI, plus for education, personalized 24/7 education. Because most of us, I don't want to wait until next class or whatever. I can ask right away. So it has a lot of advantages to use AI for education.
I love that. And so you've built a database of citations and articles, evidence based practices
Mm.
for lifestyle medicine, and it pulls only from that and provides practitioners and general public also has access. And so,
Well, the Doctor Health. Also, we have. That's why we have so many websites, I guess. But we have the Clinical Lifestyle Medicine AI, which is for healthcare professionals, and then we have the Doctor Healthy Wealthy AI, which is kind of an AI doctor, right? Basically, but really cool because and it works really well. Basically, we trained that Doctor Healthy Wealthy AI to coach you to improve your lifestyle habits, right? Not to tell you what to
ooh,
do. It's a very big difference because you don't want that. You want to kind of be guided. So that, for example, you go to that platform and say, "Hey, I gained a lot of weight. What should I do?" Okay, then there's one question after the other which raises awareness. Oh, I didn't think about that, right? And that's where AI is really great to think outside the box, and so it's a coaching platform based on evidence-based lifestyle medicine. And at the end, it asks you questions. Oh, maybe exercise is a good thing, right? And then you say, oh, I did it before, but I stopped. So how can we bring you back? So this is a conversational coach, basically. And at the end is a very specific, what we call micro habit, which is all about a little thing that everybody can do a little bit, right? And that's the
yes.
challenge because that's easy to do a small thing. So, for example, just do one push up a day. Simple, right? Or if I feel like low energy, you deeply breathe on a regular basis or a couple times a day, right? Simple things, and that's what you get a lifestyle prescription, right? Instead of a medicine prescription, you get a lifestyle prescription, and you
Yes.
practice it. And then you come back whenever you have a question or when you want to do more, right? So it's this
Hmm.
kind of guidance.
Okay.
And the problem is
So,
in healthcare. Have you Question to you: have you ever had a physician or coach that told you or asked you or guided you through this process of improving your
uh,
lifestyle? No.
Only recently, and I'm 41, so at 40 years, it has taken a very long time to find a practitioner who will sit with me and
Mm,
actually be open to functional medicine and will listen. Like, she'll sit down, she'll put her computer down and listen and give me a multitude of approaches and guide me. But then I was listening to your summit, and they were saying the healthcare 3.0, right? Where I check in every 3, 4 months. That's not enough. You
exactly.
know, I would like to be able to check in with something that is evidence based and not worldwide giving me 20 different, perspectives. That's like, okay, this is the lifestyle change I want to make. And so, no, I don't get that ongoing. And then anytime I come in, oh, it's catastrophic or I'm a
Mm,
hypochondriac. Like,
yeah,
oh, let's go to medicine or whatever. It's not a big deal. And I'm like,
exactly.
I want to
Take the
deal with
medicine
it
or
now.
whatever. Figure it
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
yourself.
Hush.
And that's the
Get out.
problem. Yeah. And it's not going to get better. That's the unfortunate thing, right? I mean, lifestyle medicine is growing. Functional medicine, integrative medicine are somewhat similar. The big difference in lifestyle medicine is actually doesn't cost anything. A lot of the
Hmm.
other integrated functional, there's blood tests. It can be very expensive, but the simplicity of lifestyle medicine is that you make certain lifestyle changes, and the evidence is super clear. You make certain lifestyle changes, you get better for sure. There's no question about it. And in many cases, you reduce or reverse symptoms in a major way. So,
Yeah.
but still, having an AI assistant that is done well. The problem is a lot
Yes.
of people go to ChatGPT right now. Really bad idea.
Hmm.
Very bad idea
Yeah.
because, and that's also with Systeme.io, and we have a HIPAA compliant, safe platform. So your data doesn't end up anywhere, right?
Yeah.
That's the danger right now, and it's not a good thing. And also
Yeah.
ChatGPT and others, they say that there's no safeguards. And with health, you
No.
definitely want to feel safe and have safeguards.
Yeah, I'm extremely interested. My husband battled cancer in 2019, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and to have a tool like that at his fingertips would have been extremely beneficial
Yeah.
because he approached it in that functional integrative medicine approach where we changed our diet, lifestyle, and when he was in the hospital, he would walk. He would walk a mile a day, and he would walk a
Mm.
circle and he had to walk 30 circles every single day so he could get a mile in every day while he was on chemo because, the way that he approached it. But it would have been awesome to have that tool because the amount of research that was out there saying, well, eat this, but don't eat this, but don't eat this, and do this,
Confusing.
but don't do this. It was very confusing.
Yeah.
And like, don't go outside. Well, he went outside. He's like, actually, dirt is good for me, right now, and you're telling me not to avoid dirt, avoid fresh air. And he's healthy, cancer free since 2019. But a tool like this would have been extremely helpful, and
Yeah.
since then he has changed his lifestyle completely.
Yeah. That's wonderful. And see that's why we do what we do because, and going back to System.io in the sense that, the less we have to work and think about the technology and running everything, the more you can focus actually on what we really want, which is education and inspire people to just think outside the box, because I mean, and we use the name lifestyle prescription, by the way, because I was 10 years ago thinking, why is nobody writing a lifestyle prescription versus just medicine prescription? So that's how we use the name. And that's our mission. Um, every physician, and maybe even nurses, right, and healthcare professionals, clinicians, they need to have at least the foundational training to stimulate an option, to offer an option. So here, yes, we can manage the symptoms fine. A lot of people still want that quick fix. Doesn't matter if they have to do it all the rest of their lives and it's really expensive, right? Versus the low cost way to actually make some lifestyle changes, which are causative factors in terms of the symptoms they have, and provide an option. And I bet you 50% of people would think about the other option that doesn't, make you dependent on a drug or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing a shift in that, especially in my demographic, my age demographic
Mm.
right now. A lot of people my age are interested in that. So, if we look at the AI systems that you have built on System.io, what have you utilized with System? Where does this AI tool live? Does it live on System.io, or is it just a
No,
landing
that
page leading to the tool?
yeah, that wouldn't be possible to have it on Systeme.io. I mean, maybe, but it wouldn't make sense because it's AI is not just a little AI chatbot, but it's a lot in the back end. So you have to need a back server and all this stuff. So, and especially, it's not that easy to make it HIPAA compliant and safe, right? And so, yeah, we used mostly everything front end is on System.io, and then once they signed up, so the landing page, the informational pages, the payment processing, everything is basically, even the affiliate side of it is on System.io, and then again we use webhook to connect it to our AI platforms, which is outside and
Okay.
separate.
Yeah. And again, I think a lot of people are going to find this very encouraging that they don't have to go buy 10 tools. They can have everything built on System.io and then have one tool, the product, the service, whatever it is, hosted somewhere else because of, technology today. Uh, but for the most part, the simplicity of System.io can get you up and running to 9 websites, a university, a summit, AI tools, and really start changing lives. So I'm going to start, landing the plane and bringing it down. You've already answered my first question of like, if you could describe System.io in one word, simple.
Yeah.
But what
Well,
about
but hold on, hold on,
this?
hold on. There's more.
Oh,
So it's the simplicity,
oh,
but it's
I'm
also
excited.
the synergy with all the features that you kind of need. And as I said before, I think the main thing is if you have a smaller type of business, that ours is complex, right? So you need other tools or platforms or whatever. But if you have just a course, educational, I would do everything on System.io, really.
Oh, I love it.
It saves you so much
Synergy.
time and energy and headache, guys. Don't even think about other ways because it's just you. I have like health coaches also that we had a few years ago. Oh, I want to get a website and all that. Okay, that sounds easy, but mostly it's not. Unless you pay for it, and that can be really expensive. So keep it simple and focus more on the marketing and education side instead of just trying to figure everything out.
Yep.
So you guys
Yeah.
did good. Thank you.
And and so I think a lot of people are going to love that synergy. You can do everything there. And so the next question is, what is the gift that entrepreneurship has given you? Because like you said, you've been in this for 35 years, but you built all this, 35 years of your wisdom and knowledge is now online helping others. What's the gift?
Well, for me personally, I mean, I have a very clear mission, which is to make lifestyle medicine and health coaching accessible to everyone, because that's what's needed, right? Healthcare is so fucked up. Sorry, my language. It's so screwed up all over the world, really. It's money driven. It's a business. It's not putting people in front. There need to be priority number one, and everything else comes afterwards. And unfortunately, there's so much money being made. I mean, it's like 4 trillion or something spent in US on healthcare, which is ridiculous, right? And and
That's
and,
ridiculous.
and so it's hard to change because there's so much interest, business interest, pharma, and all the good stuff, all insurance companies. They make a killing, right? But it's not,
Mm-hmm.
their focus is not. And I talk to so many doctors, they totally agree, they know the problem, but they're caught in the system. And one of the things that happens now, that more and more lifestyle medicine primary care is offered, which means if you pay, let's say in US, maybe 1,000, 1,500 for healthcare, a lot of people do, they cut that to the absolute minimum, maybe to 4, 5, 600 or whatever, the absolute minimum emergency type of insurance, and they spend a couple $100 paid directly to a doctor. So they take the doctor, primary care doctor, takes care of the foundations. It's a much better way investment because then you become less sick, you need less emergency care, right? So that's, I think, where things go. And that's my vision, basically, or our vision, to help in that process. And personally, it's just fun to do something you're passionate about instead of something you
Yeah.
really don't want to do.
And I love that, the passion. You're changing the system from the inside out, getting rid of the cancer,
Yeah,
of
you're
the
very
way that
right. Yeah.
healthcare has shifted. Yeah. So if someone is interested in learning more or maybe using one of your AI tools, what is the best website or way to connect with you after this interview?
Yeah. Best website is lifestyleprescriptions with an s.org. This is our main website. Lifestyleprescriptions with an s.org. Another one is lifestylemedicine.ai or .io.
All right, y'all heard it. This was a phenomenal podcast. I think you laid so many golden nuggets on the table for people to start their own universities or courses, and the synergy and the simplicity of using Systeme.io. So thank you for being part of the team since the beginning.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Enjoyed
Thank
it.
you for
Thank
listening
you.
to another. Thanks for joining us for another success story with Systeme.io. And until next time, keep creating.